Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Baba Hridayanari Gopi Jana Baba Hridayanari Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Baba Hridayanari Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we're reading from the Srimad-bhagavatam, 8th Canto, Chapter 6, Text 13 today. The chapter is called The Demigods and Demons Declare a Truce. So, Tang Tuan Vayam Nata Samujjihanam Sarojanabha Nabhati Chirapsi Tartam Drishtva Kata Nirvritang Ajasarve Gajadavarta Ilagangam Ambaha Tang Twang Vayanata Samujihanam Saroja Nabatiri Chirapsitartam Trishtva Nivritang Ajasarve Gajadavarta Ivagangam Ambaha Tang Twang Vayanata Samujahan Tang Twang Vayanata Samujihanam Sarojana Bhati Chirapsitartam Trishtva Kata Nirvitam Ajasarve Kajadavarta Iva Gangam Ambaha Tang Twang Mayam Nata Samujihanam Sarojana Vatsi Chirapsitartam Trishtva Nivritam Ajasarve Gajadavarta Iva Gangam Ambaha Tang Twang Vayanata Samujihanam Sarojana Bhati Chirapsitartam Trishtva Nivritam Ajasarve Gajadavarta Iva Gangam Ambaha Tang Twang Vayanata Samujihanam Sarojana Bhati Chirapsitartam Trishtva Nivritam Ajasarve Gajadavarta Iva Gangam Ambaha. So word for word synonyms. Tam, O Lord. Twam, your lordship. Vayam, all of us. Nata, O master. Samujihanam, now appearing before us with all glories. Sarojanaba, O Lord, whose navel resembles a lotus flower, or from whose navel grows a lotus flower. Atichira, for an extremely long time. Ipsita, desiring. Artam, for the ultimate goal of life. Drishtva, seeing. Gataha, in our vision. Nirvritam, transcendental happiness. Adya, today. Sarve, all of us. Gajaha, elephants. Dava arta, being afflicted in a forest fire. Eva, like. Gangam, Angam Ambaha, with water from the Ganges. Hare Krishna. Translation. It'll open at 8:15, next RT. Yes. If you like, you can sit down and we can hear and listen to the class. But 8:15 curtains open. At 8:15 the curtains will open again. So translation. Elephants afflicted by a forest fire become very happy when they get water from the Ganges. Similarly, O my Lord, from whose navel grows a lotus flower, since you have now appeared before us, we have become transcendently happy. By seeing your Lordship, whom we have desired to see for a very long time, we have achieved our ultimate goal in life. So repeat after me. Elephants afflicted by a forest fire become very happy when they get water from the Ganges. Similarly, O my Lord, from whose navel grows a lotus flower, since you have now appeared before us, we have become transcendently happy. By seeing your Lordship, whom we have desired to see for a very long time, we have achieved our ultimate goal in life. So, Srila Prabhupada's purport. The devotees of the Lord are always very eager to see the Supreme Lord face to face, but they do not demand that the Lord come before them, for a pure devotee considers such a demand to be contrary to devotional service. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu teaches this lesson in his Shikshashtaka. Adarshanam marma hatam karotu va. The devotee is always eager to see the Lord face to face, but if he is brokenhearted because he cannot see the Lord, even life after life, he will never command the Lord to appear. This is a sign of pure devotion. Therefore, in this verse we find the word ati chira ipsita artam, meaning that the devotee aspires for a long, long time to see the Lord. If the Lord, by his own pleasure, appears before the devotee feels extremely happy, as Dhruva Maharaj felt when he personally saw the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When Dhruva Maharaj saw the Lord, he had no desire to ask the Lord for any benediction. Indeed, simply by seeing the Lord, Dhruva Maharaj felt so satisfied that he did not want to ask the Lord for any benediction. Swamin kritarto smi varang na yache. A pure devotee, whether able or unable to see the Lord, always engages in the Lord's devotional service, always hoping that in some way the Lord may be pleased to appear before him so that he can see the Lord face to face. So, Om Jnana Timiranda Shakya Jana Shalakaya Chakshurun Meditam Nina Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So, a few points here. So, Srila Prabhupada mentions in the purport Dhruva Maharaj. We've mentioned Dhruva Maharaj a few times in classes, but we'll bring it up again since it's in the purport. So Dhruva Maharaj was, it's in the fourth canto of Srimad-bhagavatam, Dhruva Maharaj. And Dhruva Maharaj was a son, one of the sons of the king, King Uttanapada, and he had a brother named Uttama. Uttama was his brother, and the two brothers had different mothers, same father, different mothers, because the king had two wives. There were two wives that are mentioned there. So Uttama was sitting on his father's lap, the king's lap, and Dhruva, who was the same age, also wanted to sit on his father's lap, naturally. But the mother of Uttama said to Dhruva, says, "No, you cannot do that. You cannot sit on your father's lap because you're not my child." She was thinking like that. You have to, if you want to sit on his lap, you have to take birth again as my child, and then you'll be allowed to sit on his lap. It seems kind of strange, but that was the history. So he became very upset, and his father didn't fight it. So Dhruva went running to his own mother. He was only about 5 years old at the time. He went running to his own mother. His mother's name was Suniti, and the other mother was named Saruchi. So he went to his mother, who lived, well, I don't know where she lived, nearby, and crying, as was very, very upset by what had happened. And he's, and she says, "Well, what can I do? Your father's other wife is more. He likes her better than he likes me, so he's favoring her. So he's not speaking up about this situation. So I can't do anything." So he was thinking. So Dhruva was asking. But she advised him, I can't do anything. Only God can help you. Only God can help you. So Dhruva, being a young child, so he's thinking, okay, I had a situation, and he was so upset. He was thinking, okay, if this is like that, I want a kingdom. One day I want to have a kingdom better than my father's kingdom, better than my grandfather's kingdom. His grandfather was Lord Brahma. So better than the best kingdom in the universe. He was thinking, but he had that in mind, and he was asking his mother about these things, and she says, "Well, I can't do anything, but only God can help you." So then, of course, he's saying, "So where can I find God, so I can ask him?" So she's a simple lady, and he's just a child. So he said, she's just saying, "Well, maybe, I know that great sages go to the forest, and they meditate, and they perform their devotional activities, so they can find God." So Dhruva was, he had a plan, and one night, in the middle of the night, while everyone's sleeping, he got up and he left the palace. and he went on his own to the forest, dangerous forest, wild animals and everything there, and thinking, okay, now I'm going to find God, and when I find God, I'm going to ask Him for um, for what I want, which is a kingdom better than anyone else's kingdom in this universe. So he was looking, and then he came across Narada Muni, the great sage Narada Muni, who was well aware of the whole situation. And Narada Muni said, "Dhruva, what are you doing? Why are you out in the forest? It's the middle of the night, and it's a dangerous place." He says, "No, I'm come out here to find God." He says, "Oh, Narada tells him, you don't, you, you are." He says, people in general, they wait until they're very old and give up everything, and then they come out looking for God. He said, "No, I want to find God now." And so he was. There's no way. Narada's telling him, "You just go home, play, enjoy, and when you're old, then you come." He said, "No, I want to find God now." So Narada said, "Okay, this guy is serious. He's serious. He actually really, really wants to find God, even if it's for a material reason." So Narada gave him a mantra to chant, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, right? And told him, and he gave some other instructions, and he said, "You just chant this mantra, and I don't know how much Srimad-bhagavatam doesn't say in detail what instructions he gave him, just to chant this mantra constantly." So Dhruva started chanting the mantra, and he started gradually, over a period of 6 months, he was very determined. Over a period of 6 months, he gradually reduced his bodily demands. He was eating fruits and roots, and then he was eating just the leaves that fell off the trees, and then he was just drinking water. 3rd month, and then he was not even drinking water. He just eating or taking air, living just on air, and like that. So after 6 months, he stopped. He didn't need to stop breathing. He was holding his breath. We can't imagine how he could do these things, but this was described. He was an extraordinary soul, and this was also must have been Satya Yuga. So people were more extraordinary compared to now. So he came to this point, and he actually stopped breathing, and he became so powerful because of these austerities that even the demigods and the heavenly planets were having trouble breathing. It was affecting everyone. So then Lord Vishnu came to actually to stop him from that. He was actually causing problems for the entire universe by his austerities. Tashishikornitai, Shishirada Vijabihari, Jagannath, Balaram, Lady Subhadra, Lord Nrsimhadev, Prahlad Maharaj Ki. And offered and appeared before him. So that's kind of where it's being mentioned here. So Dhruva started with all these big, huge material desires, a kingdom better than even Lord Brahma's kingdom, which was the best material kingdom in the universe. And he looking for that, but Lord Vishnu appeared before him, standing there before him, and then and Dhruva became so satisfied seeing the beautiful form of the Lord that anything he desired, any material thing he desired, he didn't want it anymore. He became very free from any kind of material desires at all. But the Lord came there to offer him the benediction. Okay, you did all this austerity to get something. I want to give it to you. And Dhruva is saying, "No, I don't want anything now. I'm completely satisfied. Just seeing you, I'm completely satisfied." Okay, Actually, I think I put the actual quote here. Yes, this is referring to the same thing. When he is being blessed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Dhruva Maharaj said, "O my Lord, because I was seeking an opulent material position, I was performing severe types of penance and austerity. Now I have gotten you, who are very difficult for the great demigods, saintly persons, and kings to attain. I was searching after a piece of glass, but instead I have found a most valuable jewel. Therefore I am so satisfied that I do not wish to ask any benediction from you." So you can imagine. And Srila Prabhupada also goes on in the purport and explains that a devotee, well, a pure devotee, a completely pure devotee, never, although a pure devotee is always very, very much wanting to see the Lord, and it's not like everyone who's a pure devotee of Krishna that constantly, 24 hours a day, sees Krishna standing in front of them. Many times the devotees, even the pure devotees, they're engaged fully in the Lord's service. They're feeling very satisfied because of that service, but the Lord doesn't always appear in front of them. And Lord Chaitanya teaches that mood in the Shikshashtika prayers. There are 8 prayers. Shikshashtika means 8 prayers. 8 prayers glorifying. It's 8 prayers. And if you study those prayers, they go in. They're in a certain order. So the very beginning is about the Sankirtan movement and about how we can follow the Sankirtan Yajna is the means for everyone to begin their path in spiritual life. It's the beginning. And then there's another verse in there about how we should be more humble than the tree and so on like that. And little by little it builds up. The final verse is the topmost pure verse, which is actually the mood of the gopis, who are the topmost devotees of the Lord. And this translation here is a little bit different than what we read each day. This is from the Chaitanya Charitamrita, where the Shikshashtika is first presented. Let Krishna embrace this maidservant who has fallen at his lotus feet, or let him trample me or break my heart by never being visible to me. He is a debauchee. Debauchee, well, usually a debauchee means a low-class person, but for them, I'll only finish the translation, I'll explain. He is a debauchee after all and can do whatever he likes, but still he alone and no one else is the worshipable Lord of my heart. So that mood is that's really the mood of the pure devotees, and this is the mood of, because in Lord Chaitanya is Krishna in the mood of Radharani. Right? Krishna in the consciousness, the mood of Radharani. Lord Chaitanya has got Krishna himself, but he is in the mood of a devotee of Krishna. So therefore, and specifically, he's in that mood of Radharani. So he's writing this and feeling it himself, but he's also, Lord Chaitanya, gave many instructions to different devotees, sometimes directly, sometimes inspiring them to speak, and ask the right questions and give the right statements. Just like he spoke with the Haridas Thakur, who was Namacharya Haridas Thakur, the Acharya of the Holy Name, and he asked, Lord Chaitanya asked Haridas Thakur to explain certain things, and Haridas Thakur about the Holy Name, basically about the 10 offenses to the Holy Name. This is in Harinam Chintamani. So he presented. Lord Chaitanya asked him to explain these, one by one, each of these offenses, and then Haridas Thakur, he explained it, but he made it clear. Okay, I will speak whatever you make me speak. I'm not surrendered to you. You use me. So, but in a different way, Lord Chaitanya gave many instructions. So the only written instructions that he gave, what he actually gave personally, was these 8 verses. But these 8 verses are not small verses. It's the entire process of Bhakti Yoga from the very beginning to the perfection. And those 8 verses, if we can understand what they are. So that's the mood of a pure devotee. And actually in our line, what we are taught, what Lord Chaitanya taught, and what the 6 Goswamis, his direct disciples, taught, was the mood of separation. It's called the mood of separation. And the mood of separation means that you're always actually looking for Krishna. Even the Goswamis in Vrindavan, who are personal associates of the Lord, their mood was going all over Vrindavan, and where is Krishna? Where is Radha? They're looking, but they're pure devotees of the Lord. So, but their mood is like that. They're always looking for the Lord, and sometimes the Lord directly appears. And even in Krishna's Leela, even in the spiritual world, that mood of separation is there. We say, there's a common saying, we say, absence makes the heart grow fonder, right? Absence makes the heart grow fonder. So when you're away from someone, then you start remembering them more intensely, more so than if they're with you. So the same thing in devotional service. If you're with Krishna, of course, it's wonderful. But if you're not physically with Krishna, but you're remembering Krishna very, very, very intensively, remembering Krishna, then in your heart, your relationship is actually increased. So it's increased more than if you were actually with Krishna. So even in Krishna's pastimes, everyone, sometime during the day, is feeling that separation from Krishna, because or Krishna gets up in the morning, so he's in home. Mother Yashoda, Nanda Maharaj are there, his father and mother, foster father and mother. They're there, and they are, of course, they're with Krishna, and they can hardly bear not seeing him for a moment, because Krishna is very beautiful. It's so attractive. So they can hardly tolerate not seeing him for a moment. But Krishna, like all the young cowherd boys, during the day, what do the cowherd boys do? They take the cows out, or take the calves out, at least, to the pasturing grounds and perform. And the cows eat grass all day, and the boys are playing amongst themselves. So when they're away from when Krishna's away from the home, then Mother Yashoda, Nanda Maharaj, and the other elderly gopis and gopas, cowherd men or gopas, and anyone who's in Vrindavan who's not with Krishna at that moment, they're experiencing this very intensive feeling of separation. Krishna's only away for a few hours, but it's like They can't tolerate it practically. It's just, when will Krishna return? When can we see his smiling, beautiful face again? And they say like a moment for a devotee, a pure devotee who has that taste for Krishna. They say that a moment, a moment, it seems like 12 years or more, right? So that's what it is for everyone, and who's that pure. So Mother Yashoda, Nanda Maharaj, the other cowherd men and women, anyone who's in Vrindavan, who's not with Krishna during that time, they're thinking that like a moment is like 12 years or more. You can imagine, and how many moments there are in the course of the day. They're going about their activities. They're singing about Krishna. They're glorifying Krishna. They're just they're trying to remember Krishna. They are remembering Krishna, but they're just waiting for to see Krishna come back home. At the end of the day, Krishna's supposed to be back home at a certain time. Nanda Maharaj goes up on the second story of his house. There's a particular name for that room. I don't remember right off. But he goes up there where he can see farther, and he's watching. Mother Yashoda's downstairs, going on the bottom floor, going out, coming back in, going out, looking, waiting. And then as soon as Nanda Maharaj sees that the dust, because when Krishna comes, it's not Krishna and his thousands of boyfriends and his and millions of cows, right? They're all coming. They may go. There's a lot of dust. There's a whole big cloud of dust because the ground is walking on grass and dusty areas like that. So there's a cloud of dust raised up. So Nanda Maharaj, he sees this cloud of dust off in the distance somewhere. So then he knows that they're coming. So he announces to everyone that Krishna's coming. So everyone's out there waiting for him to come home, just waiting for him to get back with snacks, snacks for him to eat. And some of the gopis come and bring him something. And Mother Yashoda always has her. Anyway, he's coming back in the afternoon, just like we have an offering in the afternoon, around 4 o'clock. So it's the same thing. They have so many nice preparations that they're waiting for Krishna to give to Krishna when he comes back home, like that. So they're feeling that separation all day, and then they see Krishna. But then the cowherd boys who have been with Krishna during the day, they all go to their homes. So now they're going through the same thing. This feeling of separation immediately. They're feeling this. We want to see Krishna, but we have to go home. Our parents tell us we got to go there, and we have things. We have our duties there, and so they're thinking all the rest of the night until early the next morning. When can they see Krishna again, like that? And then during the day, when Krishna's out at the field, sometimes he'll slip away and have a little rendezvous with some of his gopi friends, his gopis there, and so they get a little relief from this same anxiety, and the cowherd boys, when they see Krishna's slipped away, and they're in anxiety, but it's spiritual anxiety, and it's all just increasing the intensity of their remembrance of Krishna, their love for Krishna. So that's the mood of separation. It's time already. It used to be in our temples, when the artiks were about ready to start, we didn't just wait till the curtains open and then we start singing. The practice then was 5 minutes, 10 minutes before the arti. Devotees were there, and used to have a lot more devotees because that's the way ISKCON was, and everyone was living in the temple. Yeah. So, yeah. We have a short time here, but it's not. But we would have nice kirtan in that mood. Anxiety, trying to develop that mood. We don't have that mood, but we're trying to develop that mood of kirtan, asking for Krishna, please, we can't wait to see you, like that. And, so that's the mood we want to try to develop. I'm going to try it. We're not there. I'm not there. But we want to try to develop that mood. So when we come to see the deities and the curtains are closed, and like when will the curtains open up? When will Krishna appear again? When can I see Krishna? Like the demigods are praying, offering all these prayers to see the Lord. Now they see the Lord for a short time. They're feeling very happy, but usually they're not seeing the Lord. They're engaged in devotional service to the Lord. So it's like that. So that's kind of that's the mood we are trying to develop. At least we know what we're aspiring for, and that's the highest level of pure Krishna consciousness. So I guess I should have to stop here. So any questions, comments?
I should read more thorough with she's talking about the 8 steps, right?
Yes. These verses are not just. I mean, we go over the Shikshashtika verses really fast. Just read one. We're just reading it, but really I should meditate on it.
I didn't realize that this is a complete process by itself.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's from the very beginning of chanting Hare Krishna to the mood that one should have in the highest perfectional stage. That's what Shikshashtika is. And there's some explanation in Chaitanya Charitamrita. I think it's the very last chapter in the entire Chaitanya Charitamrita, chapter 20 of the Ansha Lila. And also, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote a book. I don't remember the title of the book right off, but it's a commentary. It's a commentary on the Shikshashtika verses. So that's if you really want to dive into the meaning of it, then that's available also. We have an English translation of it done by Bhanu Swami Maharaj, who's done a lot of translations of a lot of books like that.
So the mood of separation and experiencing all these intense feelings, it's the topmost expression of...
That mood of separation. The mood of the feeling of separation from Krishna. It's a very, very intense feeling if we're there. It means we're really, really, really meditating in a loving mood on Krishna. So that's actually the topmost. The Goswamis in Vrindavan, they were walking around Vrindavan, and where is Krishna? Where is Radharani? They're in that mood too, and yet they were personal associates of the Lord, and were writing so many books. Nectar of Devotion, which is a summary study of the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, which was written by Srila Rupa Goswami, one of the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. So, but their mood, they don't go around saying, "Look at me, I'm a pure devotee of Krishna. I've got everything. I know everything. I just talked to Krishna yesterday, and people come and say, I just had a conversation with God last night, and He told me this thing." No, it's not quite that. It's not cheap. We can have conversations with God, but if we want to really have a direct conversation with God, we have to be pure, completely pure. Otherwise, it'll be mixed with our own ideas.
And pride.
Yeah. We have to be humble. No pride. No false pride. Lower than the straw on the street, more humble than the grass, more humble than the tree, like that. Yes, that's the mood we have to have to become Krishna conscious. So Lord Chaitanya describes all of this in those six Shastika verses, and Srila Prabhupada says the Chaitanya Charitamrita it's like the postgraduate study. Bhagavad Gita is what do you call it? the preliminary study. The Srimad-bhagavatam is the graduate study, and the Chaitanya Charitamrita is the postgraduate study. And the Shikshastika verses are in the last chapter of the entire Chaitanya Charitamrita. So you can see the level that is actually on. Any questions, comments? Let me just check. Oh.
So when Guru Maharaj was performing all this austerities in the forest, he was still a kid, right?
He's about 5 years old. I mean, this is extraordinary. But these sometimes Krishna sends extraordinary people to do extraordinary things. So someone can do something extraordinary like that. We'd say, okay, well, he's actually a pure devotee of Krishna already, and he's come to help demonstrate something or assist the Lord in some pastime or like that, or help to teach others like that. The same thing with Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj also was just when you first know of him, he's a maybe 5-year-old boy, but he is but he was already a pure devotee of Krishna. And usually, it's very unusual that someone is born and they're already an expert in devotional service. And he was taught by Narada Muni while still in his mother's womb. He was taught about Krishna consciousness. But normally a child, although they can be benefited, but it's very extraordinary if someone is born already from their very birth is already a pure, 100% pure devotee of Krishna, unless maybe they were already a pure devotee of Krishna and they're coming here to perform a particular service for Krishna, which we'd say Prahlad Maharaj did that. I would say Dhruva Maharaj also was like that. These are extraordinary souls who did certain special things that are now a part of the eternal history of Srimad-bhagavatam and other scriptures also. These things are. Okay, I think I have to stop here because I'm supposed to end at 8:30 and I have to talk too much. So we'll end here for today, and today is Thursday. So tomorrow we read Srila Prabhupada Nectar book, and then Saturday then we have Srimad Bhagavatam, and then Sunday Chaitanya Charitamrita. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.